chosen one, whom I have called by name, set down for a moment the things that are causing you to hurry. For this moment has not come to frighten you, but to awaken you to a transformation that has quietly drawn very near. You did not encounter these words merely because you happened to pause, nor were you brought here by a meaningless sequence of coincidences. I am Michael, the one sent to stand beside those who are passing through a season of transition. And today I want you to understand that a new door is opening before you. This door is not being opened with a loud commotion, nor does it appear through spectacular signs. It is opening in peace, through hidden movements, and through the deep awareness you have carried for some time. Your life can no longer remain as it once was. If in recent days your heart has often felt unsettled, or if you have awakened with the sense that something is changing, do not be quick to dismiss it as mere exhaustion or imagination. New seasons are often preceded by a gentle stirring, like a breeze passing across a field before the dawn becomes visible. You have sensed it because you are being prepared to enter a different stage of your journey. The things that once kept you waiting, the doors that were once closed, and the promises that seemed to have drifted far away are now beginning to move according to an order your eyes cannot yet fully perceive. I am not saying that everything will change in a single breath, but I am telling you that the season of stagnation no longer has the authority to hold you forever. A new process has begun, and you must remain awake so that you can recognize its first signs. Beloved child, what is approaching is not only connected to timing, it is also connected to your own growth. Throughout the long days of waiting, you believed you had been forgotten, but in truth, you were being shaped. Each time you chose silence instead of an argument, you learned the strength of calmness. Each time you faced rejection, yet kept your heart upright, you became more steadfast. Each night you wept without anyone knowing. Those tears did not fall into emptiness. They became water for seeds buried deep beneath soil you could not yet see. Every prayer you offered in a hidden place was lifted like a small lamp in the night, and not one sincere sigh from your heart was ever considered meaningless. Therefore, do not despise the years in which it seemed that nothing was happening. Often, the greatest work is accomplished in silence. A mighty tree does not begin with radiant branches and leaves, but with roots quietly pressing their way through dark soil. In the same way, the days when you felt delayed were actually the days when your foundation was being deepened. You had to learn not to base your worth upon the praise of others. You had to pass through disappointment, so that you could understand that a closed door is sometimes protection. You had to confront the fear of scarcity in order to learn how to live with gratitude. You also had to learn to remain standing, even when no answer was visible, because what is about to be entrusted to you requires someone calm enough to preserve it, wise enough to use it, and humble enough not to lose themselves when they are lifted higher. Now, many things are beginning to come together. The right connections may appear. An opportunity you did not anticipate may be placed before you. An idea that has been sleeping within you may suddenly become clear. An invitation, a conversation, a decision, or a small change may open a path greater than you ever imagined. However, I want you to remember that a blessing does not always enter your life wearing the appearance you expected. Sometimes it arrives as a new responsibility that makes you anxious. Sometimes it appears as a door entirely different from the one you prayed for. Sometimes it requires you to leave familiar ground Say no to something old or move forward before you possess every answer. Therefore, you need more than hope. You also need discernment and courage. When a new opportunity comes, do not act out of panic, but do not hesitate merely because you do not yet consider yourself perfect. Some doors do not wait until you are without flaws. They open when you are ready enough to enter through faith and wisdom. Carefully observe what brings deep peace within you, what agrees with the good values you have preserved, and what leads you into greater freedom rather than bondage. Do not allow temporary excitement to make you overlook warning signs, but do not allow memories of past failure to make you distrust everything good. I will help you recognize the difference between a genuine opportunity and an impressive but empty invitation. As long as you are willing to pause, listen, and refuse to be driven by pressure. You must also understand that a change of season is not only about receiving more, it is also about releasing what is no longer needed. What no longer belongs in your life may naturally begin to move away. Some relationships may gradually fade. An old habit may begin to feel restrictive. A place that once made you feel safe may no longer be spacious enough for your growth. Do not immediately interpret every departure as a loss. Some things must be removed from your hands, so that those hands will be empty enough to receive something new. Some paths must close, so that you will stop returning to an outdated version of yourself. I am not asking you to deny your sadness, but I want you to pass through it without losing your faith. What truly belongs to you will not be taken away by a necessary change. In the days ahead, keep your inner life pure. Do not use your words to feed anxiety. Do not continually repeat dark predictions, merely because you cannot yet see the outcome. Care for your body by resting. Protect your mind from useless noise, and make room for quiet moments in which you can recognize your direction. When you feel confused, you do not have to force yourself to find an immediate answer. Clarity often comes to those who know how to wait in peace, not to those who run chaotically from one voice to another. Remember that I do not drive you through threats. I guide you through steadiness. What is truly meant for you will never require you to betray your conscience, exchange your integrity, or live in constant fear. When the time to act arrives, move forward decisively. Do not return to ask permission from those who have only ever seen your limitations. Do not make your dreams smaller, merely to make others comfortable. Do not remove yourself from an opportunity, simply because the past once disappointed you. You did not pass through all those years merely to remain forever at the threshold. I was near you on the roads no one understood, during the moments when you had to wipe away your own tears, and in the times when you believed you had no strength left to continue. It was there that you learned to rise without needing applause. Now that strength will help you enter your new season without being easily shaken. If these words are helping you recognize a hope that has long been covered in dust, gently say within your heart, I am ready to receive what is good and to walk in wisdom. Do not say it as a ritual intended to purchase a miracle, but as a commitment that you will no longer remain imprisoned by delay, insecurity, and fear. This declaration is first meant for you so that you will remember your responsibility to open your heart, remain observant, prepare yourself, and act when the way becomes clear. Beloved child, the change that is coming is not intended to turn you into a stranger, but to restore you to the true, strong, and pure person you were created to become. What lies ahead may surprise you, but you will not enter it alone. I will stand beside you like a watchman at the city gate, warning you when you need to stop, lifting you when your feet grow weary, and helping you keep your heart steadfast amid new movements. Go forward in peace. The season of waiting has taught you enough, and now the season of growth is beginning to call your name. I tell you at this very moment that you are ready to enter a new season. Even though dark voices have long attempted to plant within you the belief that you are inadequate, weak, and unworthy, they repeated their denials so persistently that you began to mistake them for truth, causing you to view your wounds as evidence of failure and your slow progress as proof that you could never go far. But beloved child, listen to me calmly. The things that once caused you to doubt yourself have no authority to determine your worth. You were not called because you never stumbled. You were called because after every fall, a quiet strength continued to lift you. You were not chosen because you already understood every path. You were chosen because even during the days when no way out was visible, you continued searching for the light. That perseverance speaks more powerfully than every accusation. What you have experienced has not disqualified you. It has been teaching you how to carry great responsibility with a gentle, humble heart that knows how to show compassion to others. Look back upon the journey behind you, not so that you may remain trapped in sorrow, but so that you may recognize how miraculously you have been preserved. There were seasons when every door seemed closed, everyone appeared to turn away, and the things upon which you once depended suddenly disappeared. There were mornings when you awakened without knowing where you would find the strength to make it through the day. There were losses that could never be fully expressed in words, and long nights when tears fell silently, even as you continued to appear normal before others. Yet you are still here. You still know how to love, even though you have been wounded, how to hope, even though you have been disappointed, and how to pray even when the answers have taken longer than you desired. This is not an empty coincidence. I was near you during the hours when you believed you had been forgotten. I placed peace within you when everything around you was filled with chaos. I prevented doors from opening that could have led you into danger, even though at the time you believed you were being rejected. I also allowed certain things to leave, not to make you empty, but to free your hands so that you could receive something better. Each time you took another step while your heart was still trembling, you were being trained for this present moment. What you need now is not further evidence that you are capable, but the courage to trust what has been prepared. The lesson before you is not merely about receiving what you once requested. It is also about recognizing it when it appears in a form different from what you imagined. Some gifts do not come wrapped in beautiful paper. They arrive as an unexpected change of direction, a necessary farewell, or an invitation that requires you to leave familiar ground. Some answers initially make you uncomfortable because they touch the habits that have kept you circling the same place for too long. Some doors only open when you are willing to release the key to a room that no longer belongs to you. Therefore, do not hastily call every change a loss, and do not regard every delay as rejection. Observe the fruit each path produces. Whatever leads you toward clarity, integrity, maturity, and deep peace is worthy of your steps, even when it does not initially feel comfortable. I will not push you into darkness and abandon you to find your own way. I will illuminate each step with enough light for you to learn trust instead of attempting to control the entire journey. Many people pray for a new life while attempting to preserve everything that belongs to the old one. They long to be set free, yet they hold tightly to familiar chains because they fear the emptiness that may follow when they let go. They ask for a wider door, but when it opens, they remain motionless because the road beyond it has never been traveled. Do not allow fear to make you return to a place that made you small. False security may give you temporary comfort, but it cannot nourish the purpose placed within you. You do not need to become loud or attempt to prove that you are exceptional. True distinction is found in obeying what is right when no one is watching, remaining kind when you have every reason to become cold, and continuing to do good before the results appear. A great purpose does not always begin with a resounding noise. Sometimes it begins with a quiet decision that you will no longer betray the good values within you. From that decision, new doors will gradually open, the right relationships will be formed, and the resources you need will arrive at the proper time. I want you to understand that your story has never been delayed to the point of meaninglessness. The parts that once appeared disconnected are gradually joining together to form a picture you previously lacked the distance to see. An ordinary meeting may become the beginning of an important partnership. A skill you learned during a difficult season may later become a tool through which you support many people. A rejection that once saddened you may have protected you from a direction that would have drained your peace. Nothing sincere that you have planted has been forgotten. The prayers of those who came before you, the quiet sacrifices of your family, the times you chose forgiveness instead of revenge, and the days when you continued believing before any result was visible, are all contributing to the foundation of this new chapter. Messengers of light do not surround you to pressure you with fear, but to support you in truth and remind you that you are not walking alone. Divine assistance does not replace your responsibility. It makes you steadfast enough to fulfill that responsibility with courage. Therefore, when a new opportunity appears, do not first ask whether you feel completely confident. Ask whether the step is upright, whether it brings life, and whether it agrees with the good things you are being taught. Confidence does not usually come before the first step. It grows after each act of wise obedience. You may tremble and still move forward. You may not know every answer, and still begin with the smallest thing within your ability. Bring order to what has become chaotic. Fulfill the promise you have postponed. Close the door that needs to be closed, and open your heart to new guidance. Do not wait until every voice of doubt has disappeared, for those voices may attempt to return. Instead, make the voice of truth stronger through your daily choices. You were prepared through seasons that you once believed contained nothing but pain. Now is the time to transform experience into compassion, healed wounds into understanding, and every moment in which you were lifted into hands that help others rise. I am not calling you into a new chapter so that you may exalt yourself above others, but so that you may live according to the qualities that have been cultivated within you. Move forward with gratitude, not arrogance, with steadfastness, not rigidity, and with hope, not with the illusion that every day will be easy. New challenges will come, but you are no longer the person you were at the beginning. You have learned to distinguish between what helps you grow and what merely keeps you busy. You have come to understand that not everyone who leaves represents a loss, not every season of waiting is a delay, and not every difficult road is the wrong road. Receive what is coming with an open yet watchful heart. I will remind you when you need to stop, urge you when you need to move, and give you peace when you are traveling in the right direction. Beloved child, do not turn your back upon the future merely because it does not yet possess a familiar shape. What you prayed for may now be standing at your door under a different name. Lift your head, take a deep breath, and move forward. You have been preserved for this very moment, and you are now more prepared than you ever believed. Beloved child, what you believed to be a period of complete stillness was actually the season in which I was quietly preparing you for the great thing you had pleaded for over such a long time. For many months, and even throughout many years, you looked around and wondered why. Every door still seemed to be closed, why your prayers appeared to rise only to return in silence, and why others continually entered new seasons while you remained in the same place with weary hands. There were nights when you tried to hold on to hope. Yet the question arose within you as to whether you had been forgotten. There were days when you continued to smile before everyone, but when you were alone, you quietly confronted the fear that the promise you once trusted might never be fulfilled. I saw every tear you concealed, heard every sigh you could not form into words, and knew each moment when you wanted to release the dream you had once embraced with all sincerity. But now I want you to understand clearly that the silence was never a sign of abandonment. When you could not see me working, it did not mean that I had turned my face away from you. When you had not yet received what you requested, it did not mean that your prayer had been forgotten. Some delays are not refusals. They are shields of protection placed before you in love. I did not withhold good things from your hands to cause you pain. I simply did not want you to receive them too soon and then lose them through immaturity, confusion, or lack of preparation. What you requested was not something small. The door you desired to enter carries responsibility, influence, and choices capable of changing the entire journey ahead. Therefore, before opening that door, I had to make your feet steadfast, your vision clear, and your heart peaceful enough not to be controlled by outward circumstances. Consider a precious vessel entrusted to someone who does not yet understand its value. No matter how noble the gift may be, it can still be placed carelessly, dropped, or traded for something temporary. In the same way, if you receive great financial resources, while your thinking is still ruled by fear and a lack of discipline, what appears to be a blessing may quickly become a burden. If you enter a position of leadership, while still longing inwardly for recognition, you may unintentionally use authority to compensate for places within you that have not yet been healed. If you meet a sincere person while your old wounds still control your reactions, you may distrust kindness, reject safety, and destroy the very thing for which you once prayed. I knew these things before you could see them. Because I love you, I do not place a precious seed into hands that have not yet learned how to care for it, nor do I place great responsibility upon shoulders that are still easily bent beneath the judgment of others. For this reason, I led you through seasons that were not comfortable. You called them trials, but I called them training. You viewed closed doors as failure, but I knew they were preventing you from entering roads that did not belong to you. You were heartbroken when certain people left, but their absence created space for you to hear the voice of truth more clearly. You grieved when the plans you had carefully built were overturned, but each time you had to begin again, you learned not to place all your security in fragile things. I allowed you to pass through the heat of adversity, not to destroy you, but so that your old fears would no longer rule over you. I permitted you to face rejection, not so that you would doubt your worth, but so that you would stop depending upon the approval of others. I led you through loneliness not to make you cold, but to teach you how to remain standing, even when no one was beside you or to offer encouragement. Every pressure you endured taught you something that comfort could never have taught. Every season of waiting expanded your inner capacity. Every answer that had not yet arrived compelled you to grow in faith, instead of believing only when events unfolded according to your desires. You believed you were wasting time, but I was building a foundation. You believed you were being held behind, but I was strengthening the parts of you that could easily collapse. The higher a house rises, the deeper its foundation must be. The greater the door, the more necessary it is for the person entering it to know who they are. Had I given you everything as soon as you asked, you might have praised the gift more than the giver had. I opened the way before you learned wisdom. You might have used a great opportunity to prove yourself, rather than to serve what is good. The waiting purified your motives, causing you to stop asking only what you would receive and begin understanding the kind of person you needed to become beloved child. This is the very transformation that is now present within you. You may not recognize it clearly because you have lived through the process one day at a time. But I see every sign of maturity shining within you. You no longer react as hastily as you once did. You know how to step back and discern what is worth preserving and what must be released. Words that once could have devastated you now cause you to become more reflective. Closed doors no longer send you into panic, because you understand that not everything that leaves is a loss. You have learned to establish boundaries without bitterness, to love without losing yourself, and to be patient without ceasing. To move forward, your strength is no longer found in always pretending that you are not in pain, but in your ability to preserve kindness. After passing through things that once wounded, you look back and recognize that you are no longer the person who first began that prayer many years ago. At that time, you prayed with longing, but had not yet developed endurance. You desired the door to open, but did not understand the responsibility beyond it. You desired to be lifted higher, but had not yet learned that the higher one rises, the greater the need for humility. Now you know how to preserve peace amid uncertainty, restrain your words when you are misunderstood, and maintain integrity even when no one is watching. You understand that success is not merely possessing more, but having enough wisdom to use what has been entrusted to you correctly. You have learned that a healthy relationship cannot be built upon fear. A great mission cannot be preserved through pride, and a season of prosperity cannot endure without discipline. Therefore, do not continue to look upon the road behind you as an empty wasteland. Not one day of your waiting season was meaningless. Even when you possessed only enough strength to take small steps, I still used those steps to lead you closer to maturity. The times you chose. Forgiveness made your hands lighter so that they could receive something new. The times you refused to return to old habits proved that you no longer belonged to the person you once were. The times you continued. Praying in the silence gave your faith a depth that empty words could never produce. What is coming does not only require your excitement, it requires stability, discernment, and a heart capable of preserving what it receives. Those qualities have now begun to take firm root within you. I also want you to remember that even during the days that appear most ordinary, I am still working through small details that you can easily overlook. Meetings that appear accidental, small opportunities that seem insignificant, and new thoughts arising within your heart are all pieces being placed in their proper positions. Nothing in your journey is without purpose. Even during the times when you felt lost, I was quietly adjusting your steps to bring you back to the path prepared for you. Learn to treasure small things, because they are preparing you to manage greater things. When you are faithful in small matters, you demonstrate that you are ready for the greater responsibilities ahead. I am not saying that you will never face difficulty again, but I want you to know that you have been equipped to pass through it differently. In the past, even a small wind could cause you to question the entire journey. Now you have learned to remain still until the dust settles. In the past, you easily surrendered your decisions to temporary emotions. Now you know how to wait for the confirmation of peace. In the past, you feared losing people, opportunities, and positions. Now you understand that what truly belongs to you will never require you to betray yourself in order to keep it. This transformation is evidence that the season of preparation has produced its fruit. Therefore, lift your head and no longer call yourself one who has been left behind. You have not been left behind. You are being positioned correctly. You are not too late. You are arriving at the moment when you possess enough strength to preserve what is being entrusted to you. What you have waited for may appear in a form different from what you imagined, but it will carry peace, clarity, and a deep confirmation within your heart. Receive it with humility, manage it with wisdom, and use every good thing to bring light to others. I did not lead you this far merely for you to stop at the threshold. The season of preparation is drawing to a close, and when the new door opens, you will understand that every tear, every delay, and every quiet step helped shape you into someone steadfast enough to enter what you once prayed to receive.